We are here with Juan.
Hey everyone, my name is Juan Martinez. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist and I'm from Morganton, North Carolina.
Who, with a pediatric occupational therapist, what do you do?
I do a variety of different things. I get to work with kids who exhibit some developmental delays. So my goal is to make sure that they can achieve those milestones in an appropriate manner, but also help them in everyday activities such as bathing, dressing, toothbrushing, all the way to any educational skills that they may need.
So a lot of activities of daily living that we are concerned about. So you are an athlete here at CrossFit Catawba Valley. How long have you been here?
I've been doing CrossFit here at CrossFit Catawba Valley for about over a year now, maybe like a year and 2 months, but good so far.
Were you doing CrossFit before?
I was not. I was mostly a couch potato, just watching Netflix, drinking some soda, and just not having the best lifestyle sometimes, I would say.
Okay, so what made you decide to go on your CrossFit journey?
I knew that I was going to be moving back home from Radford, Virginia, and so with that, I also thought about making some changes with myself, and also making sure the changes coming from exercising, making better life choices, but also kind of wanted to develop new friendships as well, knowing that I was going to come home and mostly be on my own for a while.
Okay. So what made you specifically choose CrossFit versus a regular gym?
I was just looking for a community, which was one of the things I wanted to look at first. And I know that going to like one of those regular gyms, I'd most likely feel isolated doing my own thing. So I wanted to do something where I could fit in a community and just make sure that I was being surrounded by people who were positive and who were willing to make those lifestyle changes as well, but also kind of have some more direction when it comes to working out and making sure that I wasn't doing anything that could harm myself.
Okay, so you really like the community and coaching aspect portion of it. What would be your favorite thing from CrossFit Catawba Valley?
Apart from the people and the coaches, I would say just the aspect of being able to be involved in our community. I know that since this year and a half that I've been involved with CrossFit, we've done stuff as AMRAP for autism, row for SO, barbell for boobs, and those kind of feelings of giving back to the community has kind of really shaped my thought about what CrossFit can be, rather than looking at it as an individual journey to become better, but also looking at it now as a community, trying to make a difference within our community so we can actually make an overall difference.
So it kind of fits in with the slogan of the gym of building a better community, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So is there anything that you have seen as a positive influence in your life outside of the gym because of CrossFit?
Yeah, I've been able to develop some strength over that year, of course, but because of that, I feel like I can be more intentional with playing with my 8-month nephew, being able to carry him like in a Superman pose, or just being able to get down on all fours and play with them. And I just felt like that for me has been like the most impactful, just being able to just have that more intentional interaction with play with my nephew, and just being able to just see him smile and just enjoying that uncle and nephew relationship that I've had.
So you're telling me that there is a reason for burpees.
Oh yeah, there's a reason for burpees and getting down on all fours. There's also a reason to do strict press if you ever want to just hold my nephew up here as well. So a lot of functional exercise that I see in CrossFit translate into my real life. So I'm just very appreciative of that.
Awesome. So would you say that that's how CrossFit's made one of the biggest impacts in your life, or the biggest difference in your life, is being able to actually move that well and do those things?
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, it's just one of those things where I didn't necessarily thought, just focusing on barbells would just primarily build strength, but looking at it now, functional strength is key. And I think that's overall just it overall helped my quality of life. So I'm just very grateful for that.
Awesome. So we have, in the CrossFit world, we have a bunch of strength and conditioning days. We have more of your cardio days, things like that. Which one do you feel is more beneficial for you?
Cardio for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always on my tippy toes, especially at work, working with these kids. I know most of the times they love to just like get away from me for 1 second, start running. So I'm just like on the run constantly, or even just outside playing with my nephew, my 8-month nephew, as well as my 6-year-old nephew who just wants to be outside playing soccer all the time. So just being able to be on the run constantly and just be able to be on my tippy toes is definitely translated well.
Awesome. What would you say if we had a new athlete who walked into the gym, they're still a little bit new in their fitness journey or their CrossFit journey? What would be some advice that you would give them?
Two advice I think kind of really pops into my head. First and foremost, just be consistent. The only way you can get better is if you show up, and I think that's very true. Not only in the gym, but in life. You have to be able to show up to work. You have to be showing up to your family members. Be intentional with your relationship. So I think first and foremost, the goal is just to show up, just be able to be like a sponge and absorb many different things, but also just be willing to accept that change as well. Secondly, try to come in with a good attitude. I think that's very important. It's often overlooked. But I feel like just being able to have that year of experience here at CrossFit, knowing that people are here to make changes to better themselves, not only in their health, but overall life. And I think that's very important. So if you can come in with a good attitude and kind of lift others up, I think that can come a long way with reaching not only functional goals, but other life goals as well.
There's a quote that's floating around of how an athlete won't make fun of you if you're trying to better your life working out. A millionaire won't make fun of you for trying to start your own business, things like that. Do you feel like that aspect of community is here as well? So you have someone new come in, like none of us are going to really make fun of you, have an ego issue or anything like that?
I don't see that, especially here. I never felt like I was behind or if I've ever felt left out. It's always been more of that, hey, fist bump, like, hey, you showed up, and then a fist bump for, hey, you did the workout. And so I always felt like I belonged here. I always felt like I could easily connect with some of these members, most of these members, and just be able to have that friendship, which was one of my goals that I mentioned earlier about having that CrossFit. But overall, I just felt like this community is very welcoming and really kind of uplifting when it comes to fitness and in life.
Awesome. So we plan on advertising this, doing a little bit more of like a podcast style interview like we're doing today for our social media and just to reach out to the community like you've been talking about. So if someone was to see this video that's never tried CrossFit, that's never thought about it, but they kind of sparked their interest because of this, what would you tell them about CrossFit?
Just come out, just see how it is. I know that it's easier said than done, but I think once you get to that first step and see what we have to offer, I think it'll grab your attention and kind of want you to get you more into that kind of lifestyle. But I would just say just to come in, give it a shot and see how it is. And I guarantee you'll get a fist bump sometime throughout that workout in that 1 hour space.
So is it as intimidating as it first seemed for you? Because a lot of people say, oh, CrossFit's the elite and you have to be fit to be able to do CrossFit.
I had that mindset 100%. This mindset of like I have to look like a CrossFit Games athlete, like I have to be 6 foot, about 250 pounds, and I am complete opposite. I think I'm barely making 150, but that's been a goal of mine. But I definitely had that mindset of like being able to move a certain way, being able to lift a certain amount of weights. But I think that's more of that imposter syndrome that I think we all might have. I've come to this gym, I started very much from the beginning and just making sure I had the movements right, but by the end of it, I realized that I wasn't necessarily competing with others, but more so I was competing with myself to become better. So I would definitely say that imposter syndrome is true in some aspect, just having that false mindset, but in reality, anyone can do CrossFit regardless of age, regardless of how much experience you have in the gym. CrossFit's for everyone.
I think Juan is a perfect example of somebody who has come into the gym for the first time and never have done, probably never done many barbell movements that we do, or never done a pull-up. He is a perfect example of someone who came in at the Barney basic level, and now over in just a year, he is doing so much more than he probably thought he could ever do.
Yeah.
In just a year's time. Because he's listened to the coaches and he's taken the feedback that we've given him well. I don't care if it's 5:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the evening. This dude always has a smile on his face every single day. So we enjoy having you here, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, I think I'm just a reflection of what the community has to offer. So I just got to say thank you to you guys as well.
Awesome.
So you have a competition coming up on Saturday.
Yeah.
First competition, right?
First competition.
Are you excited?
Excited, a little bit nervous, but I think overall I'm just kind of proud that I made a goal that I set for myself and that I'm going to stick with it and try something new.
Awesome. I'm really proud of you. We'll be there to cheer you on. So
sounds good. Thank you guys.
Good job.